So the next track I'm gonna explain is a very important track for me. Some of you will know. The track is called We Will Meet Again. And I made this for a friend of me who passed away. I'm gonna pay some attention on the mixing and mastering in particular. So first I'm gonna show you the entire track, and after that I'm gonna explain you in short what I did, and then have some attention for the mixing and mastering, because that's a very important part of producing. Okay, so this was the track. Like I said, it's a very important track for me. You feel, I hope you feel, a lot of emotions in this. And well, to begin with, what you hear is a real violin, because Ewa, my violinist, she played the violin and for this track, and Jochem, my guitarist, played the guitar for this track. So that are two live elements in the inside that that they did, that they played above the track that I already created. You also hear opera, and it's a very similar voice of my opera singer Adina, but she didn't sing this one because this is a plugin. But I will show you in a bit. Yeah, you hear the piano. That's played by Sasha, my pianist, and you hear some other instruments, but that are these are like plugins from Contact, which is recorded with the real instruments, but it's converted into a Contact bank, and then you can play with your own keyboard the notes or whatever. So it's not the real instrument itself. So the rest of the things, the strings and the bass and the we have some choir and we have some cello. That are all Contact banks. So the real instruments in this one is the guitar, the piano, and the violin. So that said, in this track it's a big project because you have a lot of influences, a lot of instruments layered on each other. So this is a perfect example of a track that you need to do a lot of good mixing, because I will show you why. So basically, this is you. This little dot is the DJ. You are standing here. You play in the crowd. This is left and this is right. This is the middle. This is your spectrum of sound. So I already explained to you before, but the kick goes through the middle. It goes straight to the middle, and every other sound you need to build around the kick. The kick already takes a lot of space in the spectrum, so you need to make space for the rest of the sounds. And in this case, it's a lot of instruments, so you need a lot of space. So this was a hard track to mix. To show you the kick, that's already the whole spectrum, the full spectrum filled. So it's very difficult to create anything around this. So to do that, I will show you what I did. A trick that you can do is to, it's not a trick, it's like a rule that you can do, is give the instruments each his own space in the spectrum. Like the picture that you see here, that's your spectrum, and give them all their own place. So how do you do that? For example, the cello here is the first channel. You can see here an icon. That's your balance. I put the cello 8 to the right. So you see 8R. It's 8 to the right. So you can see that in the spectrum here. It goes through to the right. So the cello is here. The kick. Where's the kick? Where's the kick? Hello. Here. Okay, let me just put the kick on one. It's easier to find. Alright, so we have the kick. It's in the middle. You can see it goes straight through the middle. It's a little bit of stereo effect, but that's what I like. Normally you can make the kick mono. It's the best to have enough space for the rest, but I like to have my bass a little bit stereo sometimes. So the cello goes to the right. The choir goes to the left. You have the crash. A little bit to the left. So you can make your own balance for each sound. Well, the most important in this case are the instruments. So the piano, which goes pretty stereo. But here I have the right piano. And the left piano, it's like a little bit more reverb on this, much reverb on this. With the Valhalla shimmer, it's a very nice plugin, by the way. In my opinion, this is one of the best reverbs that there is. Very spacey, very high quality reverb, and it makes it more mysterious. So that was just for in between. You have the opera, which has multiple layers. You have like the humming sound, which is left. Then you have another sound. I think it's there. Yeah, it doesn't matter. Then you have another sound, it's to the left as well, but more to the left, so 15 to the left, 10 to the left, so to really get their own space in the spectrum. And this one to the right. And everything together. So now it sounds very, very stereo, wide, full body. Yeah, it's great. It's great to have their own place in the spectrum. Very important. So then you have the opera, the piano, but we also had the violin, and this is a tricky instrument sometimes because you can easily fuck it up. So you have the violin right here. I made a group channel with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different layers of violin, and I will show you. And the first is this one. So this is the left one, a little bit to the left. This is to the right. And together. Then you have the third one. That's the in-between violin for this part. Also to the left. And to the right. And both also with some extra reverb here via the return channel, the reverb. And this is the layer, left and right. So if I put that together. And with them extra, now you get 4 channels, left, right, left, right. And you hear a little side chaining, but that's on the master channel of the violin, of the group channel of the violin, because you need to do that, because the kick takes the punch every time, tuck, 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 and every time you have the punch, you need to make space for the punch, because the punch is coming straight at you, so you don't want that the other sounds interfere with your punch, because how many instruments you add in a track, your punch, your kick needs to have the space to be hard, to be loud, to be in your face.